So, red alert in Malaga, and I thought I'd do a quick video just to explain the timeline, the things that's been happening here the last couple of days. For those of you who follow Malaga area and the rest of Spain, you'll see obviously we've had some terrible weather the last couple of weeks with the disasters that we've had in places like Valencia and even here in Malaga when we had a gota fria. A gota fria is a very quick drop in temperature which then causes a heavy rainfall and destructive rainfall, which then fills up the rivers, which means that the water rushes down and then floods areas, which is essentially what happened a couple of weeks ago. And this week, well, today, we are on red alert for something similar. Now, I thought what I would do is I would give you like a timeline of what's happening. I thought I'd do just a quick special video. I've been off the channel for quite a bit because of my arm. It hasn't been possible to do everything, and obviously the first thing is work, our clients, our work. That's the first thing we dedicate to, and then obviously the channel, which helps people find us. We'll always dedicate our time to that, but with the old arm situation, I haven't been able to do some. But the good news is we're getting there. Check this out. Old physio strong is good. So let's get back on the channel. Let's do some videos about what's happening. Red alert then. The timeline. Now, there's a lot of different things on Facebook and social media, and people will be on different groups, and then you'll see things popping up, and you'll see some people are going to see some things and some people are not going to see other things. And I thought I'd just tell you what has happened over the last 24 hours. So it turned out yesterday we went into work and I was pretty much ignorant to the fact that we were going to be on red alert by the evening. I had seen there was a lot of rain due to come. At this point, my daughter was already booked into a school trip today. So wouldn't say it's been a bit of a shock, but it certainly has been, it certainly has come very quickly. Everything we didn't expect to be on red alert at this time. At the point yesterday, it was showing in yellow or orange, actually orange alert. So we did know there was some rain coming, but by midday it looked like we started to get notifications that it was going to be getting worse than what we initially thought. And the first sort of inkling. Now, I'm somebody who doesn't look at the weather. I really am. I'm terrible. I don't get up in the morning, look at the weather and see what I'm going to wear in the daytime. Most of the time I'll always put my polo shirt on. If it's less than 15 degrees, I'll put long shorts on, and if you're lucky, I'll get a jacket on if it's a little bit nippy, and that's it. That's all I do. I'd never check the weather. I'm terrible for that. But so the first thing I got was a communication from the school saying that the government is studying trying to close the schools tomorrow due to the heavy rains which are expected, which evidently then we have to make plans. So you start thinking. Now, in that respect, it's slightly frustrating because you do or you don't know whether you're going to take your children to school or not. And if they decide ultimately at the end of the day that the schools are going to open and you don't take your children to school, then it is an unjustified day off. Whereas if you then take it above your own back to then get childcare for that day because they might not be at school, and say, look, I've got to take a decision one way or the other. They either are or not going in because everybody, myself and all our friends have to arrange their working day, and a lot of people like we can be quite flexible and work from home, but other people have jobs. So that was the first sort of confusion on our WhatsApp groups and stuff. People saying, well, look, I've got to arrange for the kids to be at home anyway. If ultimately they open the school, they're going to have a day off, which isn't justified because I can't get to 10 o'clock at night and they turn around and say we're going to close the schools and have no plan for my children tomorrow. So that was the first thing. And ultimately what they did was they closed down the schools, and we got the final notification at 10 p.m. yesterday evening, but we'd already taken a decision that we're going to organise ourselves for the kids to have the next 2 days off. Okay, so I mean, my advice, if you've got kids and these kind of things come through from my previous experience, generally if they look that they're studying it, it's gonna happen. And we will probably find out tonight, and I'll tell you in the next video, my update video, that it's going to be closed again tomorrow. So we just planned 2 days, kids at home, make your plans. Then the next thing we saw was that they'd elevated it. This was just as I was leaving the office, that they've elevated it to a red alert. And they were advising people then to work remotely tomorrow. No one seems to be talking about Thursday yet. I don't know why. And which I assume that this is all going to go into Thursday, because looking at the weather, it doesn't stop till midday Thursday. And then I was like, oh, this looks like it's getting serious. Now I had to get a taxi home yesterday. I was late in the office, and I was talking to my taxi driver, and he was saying, yep, we're all planning tonight at around I don't know, 2 o'clock, just to knock off, and that'll be it. Because at that point, it looked like the rain was going to stop at 4 o'clock in the morning. And now it seems to have pushed itself back. So then when I got home yesterday evening, we were preparing the heating, brought the wood in, and just in case we had to lock down for a couple of days and just be here, then suddenly the phones went mad. Check this out.
Activado el aviso rojo, AEMET, riesgo extremo por lluvias. Sea muy prudente, evite desplazamientos y siga los consejos del 112 que puede descargar en el enlace https://lajunta.es/429vf. Llame al 112 solo en caso de emergencia. Civil Alert Protection -112 Andalucía. Red Warning Activated, AEMET, Extreme Risk of Rainfall. Be very courteous, avoid travel and follow the advice of 112 here. https://lajunta.es/429vf. Call 112 only in case of emergency.
Now I put it on as a short as well on the channel. Then my phone went off, and then Lara's phone went off, and I was like, "What's this? I've never seen anything like it." And it was an alert to basically stay at home. At that point, we jumped on the internet again, had a look around. We looked at people. Looks like people have been evacuated in our town as well, on the side of the river where people had problems in the last bad weather. And then that was basically it. They've warned people to stay in for a couple of days. Now, these precautions, all of the precautions that they're taking is basically just to stop the circulation of people in the streets and traffic. That's basically it. It's very much like COVID was. You know, the less people out and about, the less danger is that people are going to get hurt. So this is exactly what this is. And then a continuation of that has been this morning when I've woken up, looked at the news, and I've seen the ITV stations have now said that all the appointments are cancelled for today, which must have been frustrating for some people who had appointments early in the morning. So they start at 7:15, and I know I got this notification at 7 o'clock, so there must have been people on their way. There seems to be slight confusions about the shops. They all seem to be opening. Banks, haven't seen about shops and banks closing yet. And then just going on to the main news that we have here, which is, I know we look at the El Español de Málaga. Okay, so look at the Malaga news. Well, as you can see there from the map that we're on red alert all the way down past Marbella to Estepona, and then all the way past Vélez up to Motril. So that area is in red alert, and basically they've said it is because there was some, they call them mythical flooding in 1989 here in Malaga that everybody will remember, and they reckon that the weather is going to be very similar to that over the next 24 hours, which brought that flooding. Now, I would say the infrastructure is a lot better than it was in 1989, but that may be the paper sort of referring back to those mythical floods, as they say, 1989, to get a bit of a read. But evidently with what happened in Valencia as well, precautions have been taken. The rest of the news this morning is that for the moment the metro's working, and that was at 8 o'clock, so that was just an hour ago, so there's nothing stopping the metro. The Malaga Football Club has postponed its game this evening, and they reckon it's going to be between 180 litres per metre squared of water that's going to come down in the next 24 hours. As you can see behind me, it's just drizzling at the moment. But yeah, 180 litres per metre squared, which sounds an awful lot, doesn't it? So I have got my own experiment going on. So I have a 65 litre tub outside, and I'll let you know how that experiment goes to see how long that fills up. It's currently 9 o'clock now, more or less, and there's nothing in it, so I'll let you know. Aside from that, that's it. So anyway, red alert, but it looks like on the positive side, the government have taken the correct precautions. It looks like everybody has been warned. They used the warning system on text messages to let us know we all had to stay at home, which was slightly alarming, but very good, because that just overemphasizes, you know, how safe they want us all to be. And we'll keep you updated and let you know what's going on over the next 24 hours.